All right, good morning. It is 8:30 EST, and today is Wednesday, the 24th. Gosh, I know what day it is. Yesterday, I didn't know what day it was. I'm like, oh, is it Tuesday? Is it Monday? Man, it's just been pretty wild. Uh, Pretty wild. So sometimes when it gets wild, you just don't know what day it is. And I don't even like do drugs or anything. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. We had some market events happen, and it was overnight, a lot of European and British stuff. So let's take a quick look at that and how that might have affected the charts. And also, look, if you want to know about what we do, there's a QR code top right hand side of the corner there. That's also just go to www.algofactory.tech. Okay, we'll talk more about what we do at the end of the video. For now, we're just going to take a look at the charts here. Share the screen. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all those things, by the way. Helps us out. Wednesday, the 24th, overnight, we had the French, German manufacturing PMIs. And in Europe, French and Germany are the manufacturing powers. Italy is also pretty powerful. And then the British, too, their manufacturing PMI. So that's all that data came out, and the purchasing managers, I think it's not information, but that's how I always like read it in my head. The PMI stands for where is it? Purchasing managers. Well, it doesn't say on here what it stands for, but I can tell you is that it's the level of a diffusion index, so purchasing managers index, based on surveyed purchasing managers in the manufacturing industry. Okay, so actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. And what this all means is that, look, everything in the economy starts with manufacturing, right? So you have to produce before you can consume, and production and consumption are how real wealth is transferred throughout the economy. So, if there is a demand, right? If people are buying things, if the economy is strong, there's going to be more manufacturing. So when there's more manufacturing, then the manufacturers are buying things, buying more things to manufacture with. So if you're taking a look at what the purchasing managers are purchasing, and if that number is higher, that means that things are like stronger, right? And that means people are buying more things. Well, across the board here, at least for Europe and I'm sorry, for Germany and France, it looks like the manufacturing PMI was higher than the services PMI. So services is going to be like technically, say, like waiting tables. Any kind of service is where there is a business that does not provide a good, but they provide a service, right? And those were a little bit below expected. The manufacturing PMI was a little bit above expected. It does seem that people are demanding things more than services, but either way, it's probably not a huge effect on the economy. Um, if the number is green, then that's going to be good for the currency, right? For the euro. If the number is red, it's going to be not good for the euro. And not good and good are going to be reflective to what they think is going to happen. Or I should say, they're going to reflect what people think is going to happen with the next interest rate move, right? So when they decide the interest rate for these currencies, right now, the reason they are making their decision has to do with trying to get inflation to cool down. So if inflation is hot, that's going to it's going to make it look like the economy is strong just because prices are going up. However, that's a kind of an illusion, if you will, because purchasing power is going down, right? So you're saying you need to spend a lot more money to buy your bread and milk. So what they're doing is they're hiking the interest rate to try to slow the economy down. And then that slowing the economy down will slow down inflation. So if things look strong, if the number is green, then they're not looking at cutting the interest rate anytime soon. And technically, they might be looking at hiking the interest rate. If the number is red, then they might be looking at possibly cutting the rate at some point because, of course, hiking the interest rate it will slow things down. But when you slow things down too much, then, of course, you're hurting the economy and businesses die and they got to walk that fine line. So people look at these items here and they try to make a decision on what they're going to do. Now, the Brits had green across the board. So when this data came out at 4:30 a.m. EST, it might be that the British pound got a little bit stronger. So we'll start over there. Let me open up a fresh layout here on the charts. Now, all this data you're seeing on the charts, don't let that scare you. That's just me studying a few things. It's not, it's not a whole algo. So that's the algos I use are not as complex as all that. In fact, I just had my coder put together an algo that was super simple, and he did it literally overnight. That's how simple the algo was. He was able to throw that together that quickly. And I don't know, it might be my masterpiece because it's so simple. I'm going to have those algos on our website available for people to have access to on a monthly basis. It's going to be exciting. Let's look at GBPUSD. Look at the British pound in comparison to the dollar. This is a Forex pair, right? And you can see here now, this is on the daily chart. So we're going to go down, what do you call it, to the lower time frame here to take a look at how this behaved at the time of the announcement. I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart. So each one of these candlesticks is going to be 5 minutes worth of price action. Okay, so yeah, let me see. At the time of the announcement, let's find that time again. That was at 4:30 EST, so 2:30 my time. Yeah, that was a move up. Certainly, that big candle right here from $1.27 so nearly 0.5%, a little bit more than that, which is significant in the Forex market. The price definitely popped up quite a bit right there, and in anticipation as well. Seems as if maybe somebody had the data ahead of time. Who knows? But and then it popped up and it steamed off as soon as it hit the top of this range. So there's been a range that I'm going to zoom out and look at the 30-minute here. There has been a range that's been building on the we'll put it on the 3-hour. We'll take a look at that time frame. So each one of these candles is now 3 hours, and this range has been building since early December, mid-December. So that's a solid range. So, I was looking at possibly having a short as soon as the price hit the top of that range, and we might be there. I'll have to take a look at the algos and determine if that is the right thing to do. I did a euro trade yesterday. It was a range breakout, and it was a fake out. I mean, it went way out of the range and then right back into the range. I lost that trade, unfortunately. And yeah, sometimes you lose trades. But yeah, this might be. Obviously, I wasn't awake at this time. This might have been a good place to enter a short right at the peak of this candle, but I'm always kind of wary of taking trades in the middle of these economic announcements. It's not something I'm a fan of doing, but that wasn't until this candle right here. So we are towards the back at the top of that. So if my algo does say to go short, I may end up going short as soon as I'm quote unquote allowed to. As soon as my rules are met, I could go short somewhere around here, and then I can have my stop loss above the range there, probably by using an ATR or some kind of calculation. And there are a few different calculations that I use for stop losses depending on which algo, and then I'll take profit before the bottom of this range. This is probably the next trade I'm looking at, but again, my rules have to be met for that. So there's a freebie on the British pound EUR. Now the euro data, what time did that come out? First of all, let me take a break. I'm going to take a look at the comments here. We got the gorilla in the house. Gorilla. What's up, bro?
Hello, it is I.
It is I. You are here.
I am here. I am queer.
Well, okay. We got Rainbow Gorilla in the chart.
That's right. I'm here. I'm queer.
Hey, I sent you that picture of your you in your early days of being fatherhood, right? Did you get that one in your?
Let me see.
I think I sent it to your phone. Is where I sent it to your actual text messages.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Kind of. Let me see if I need to turn my volume up because you're quiet, but I think it's me. Anybody have a comment? Want to know if the gorilla's voice is not coming through very strong?
Let me know about my voice.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good right now. I'll turn my volume up so that helps.
It's because I
was just looking at a potential cable short right here, so just waiting for the. Yeah, cable is like Forex talk for the for the British pound versus the US dollar. They call that the cable.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it because look at this range. Like this range is established going back to mid-December. So it just bounces around in this range. And so those ranges usually hold. And I don't see any reason right now for the range to break. I mean, unless there's some craziness in the economy. So I think coming up here, as soon as the algo says go, I'm going to take the short. Nice. Anybody? Okay, truck face is good sound. That's good. So that's just what I'm looking at for short right there. It's a nice freebie for all you Forex traders out there, for all you algo artisans who'd like to trade Forex. All right. So, but yeah, had a tough break yesterday. The euro, that one just jacked me around, man. So it was in a range and it broke out of that range, and all of the, indications said it was a good trade. It's like you get these ranges, and after price breaks out of the range, that's usually like a pretty good place to go. Yeah. The euro is a tricky.
Hey, Calvin, give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I got someone at the door.
Yeah, no worries. The euro is a tricky currency, though. Like it does like to do a lot of liquidity grabs. You see those wicks, those extreme wicks. That's the euro coming out of the consolidation and back into it. So yeah, it can be tricky. But once the breakout happens in earnest, you get real powerful trades like this one right there. You got like this real smaller range right here. As price breaks out, you get some real great trades. And so I was expecting that trade yesterday. I was expecting the breakout, and this range had been around for a while right here. And so I took the breakout, and it was a fake out breakout. It was a deviation out of the range. And so I ended up getting kind of stuffed, and that happens. That's trading. It's trading for you. But everything lined up, so it's all right. Like, look at this range breakout. Obviously, there's some deviations out of the range, but once it broke out to the downside, that was a beautiful trade. So it's just part of the game, man. It's part of the game. So let's see here. Looking at a comment from yesterday from March. Yeah, Ethereum took a nasty fall. It was, I think macro Ethereum is great. I've done like a show on that. And macro means like over time. I think that it's like over the rest of the year that Ethereum might be pretty good. But right now it's going on sale. And there's been a lot of talk about Ethereum. And so look, you can't see this comment, by the way, if you're watching this show. This is a comment in our private room. I'll go ahead and take a look at the Ethereum chart, so we can talk about this, but it really has gone on sale in the last few days, and a lot of that has to do with Bitcoin falling. So Bitcoin's finally, not finally, but Bitcoin dropped out of its higher time frame range, right? So, and when Bitcoin falls, all the rest of the coins fall. So, and I know V, you're gonna look. One of the things that's going on, did a show or two on this, but there is rumor that perhaps BlackRock or whoever is considering an Ethereum ETF. Now, the Bitcoin ETF was a big bit of news, and even though the price went down right after the ETF was announced, some people are blaming FTX's bankruptcy estate for selling off their Grayscale shares. And when
we charted this in the live lab,
Yeah.
In the private lab, we charted this. I told the macro that we're going to see probably a pullback. It's 37, 38. You charted the same thing. We were both on the money. You and I did not compare notes before the show. So this was, information that I was giving and you also had, and you charted it out. And it's happening as we said it, because we always said, look, when this ETF is going to go up, it's going to go, Bitcoin's going to go up. There's going to be a pullback and then a run up, because more institutions, they want to be able to come in. They want to be able to accumulate. Nobody wants to accumulate at 42, 43. They want to bring it down. Where are we at right now with BTC?
Currently 39. Actually, It's like right at almost at 40.
Yeah. So they want to get in like 37. That's like a good place for them to jump in. They're going to jump in. So, and then we're going to start moving up. So that's what we're seeing right now. And I think between, jumping in and moving up, I think, the next phase from 37, I think we're going to see it probably range lock between 41 and 42 for a little bit, and then start going back up. In terms of the Ethereum ETF, I'll go over that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a private
That's a drip.
So just so you know, anybody who's watching, and again, you can zap the QR code top right corner. So you know, via like we've been doing lately is not really a big intro. We just tell people to zap the QR code, and we talk about what we do at the end of the lab's kind of what I've been doing just so we can get right into the content. But one of the things about Algo Factory is that Via the Gorilla does a lot of very large transactions in both gold and in cryptocurrency, and he does them around the world. And so when you're dealing with people spending, you know, tens and hundreds of millions of dollars, then you are going to have an idea of what's going on from the top, because you're talking to people who, you know, are either making policy or they know people who make policy. And so we do get some intel that can, you know, give us some ideas as to what's going on. And that intel is, we share that over in the live lab, which is the private group. We do that mostly on Thursdays. We call it drips. Tomorrow is Thursday. Tomorrow is a drip. So we're going to hear a little bit about what might be coming or not coming for Ethereum. It might be that the Ethereum hype is not legit. It might be there is no possible ETF coming. We don't know. The Gorilla knows. I'm going to share that tomorrow. So, you know, that's what that is. Here on the Bitcoin chart, though, you can see the ETF. And again, anybody watching, even the public live labs, anybody watching anything we do is going to know that I call this a sell the news event, although I think it's a temporary thing. I think that this sell the news is just a blow off. And again, the show that I did talked about how some people think it's Grayscale, you know, getting a sell off from FTX's bankruptcy estate. It was going to happen. This sell the news was going to happen. You know, in my opinion, that happened. If FTX is selling their assets, the bankruptcy estate selling their assets, it's because they knew price was going to go down and they wanted to take profit as much as they could. That's what I think. I think this kind of stuff, like, I'll be like blunt with you all. The news, like, I do the news because people are entertained by it, but I could just tell you what's going to happen in the charts. Like, the news really isn't going to affect that much in the charts, but everybody seems to want to hear the news. So I'm happy to like talk about it, but really the charts are going to be all the news you need. So in this case, yeah, it's price right now looks like it's going to sort of range in this 38 to 40, like 38.5, 48.5 in this kind of dark area that I have there. And I think it will dip down into this area that we have designated and talked about. We'll take a look at the liquidity really quick, but that's that 36,000, you know, area. And yeah, you know, if you're going to buy things, you're going to buy when they're a little bit cheaper. You're not going to buy them when they're pricey. There is some liquidity down at 36.5. That's the next decent area of liquidity on the downside. 36,000, 36.5. So to put that downside liquidity on the chart, that is actually down right in the middle of this, smack in the middle, right there. So this is a decent target if the charts call for a move to the downside. And right now it's going to hang out where it is, I think. And then let's see what the higher time frame says. From what I can see now, high time frame is bullish because just Bitcoin's bullish, but I can pretty much tell you that Bitcoin does want to take a break. There's a lot of reason for Bitcoin to take a break, and that break could last like several weeks or even a few months. You know, we'll see about it. We'll see how strong the appetite is for Bitcoin as it comes into this area. And, you know, if the big money wants it, I mean, there's a couple ways they could do it. They can make a deal and do it privately so it doesn't really affect the price, or at least it has less of a chance of affecting the price by doing a private sale and over-the-counter deal. Or they can just go to the exchange and buy it. Now, if they go to the exchange and buy it, then those flows are going to be seen by, you know, everybody, and they're going to actually affect the prices on the exchanges, right? So how that deal gets done may have some effect on what's going on. But either way, a large deal is going to affect the supply of Bitcoin. And if the supply is constrained, then the price probably will go up. But, you know, again, that's the chart's going to have to favor that. But a strong enough move will change what the charts say. But you're talking about like billions of dollars for that to happen, in my opinion. So point is, though, is, yeah, I see this hanging out here, dropping into this area, grabbing this liquidity. There is strong liquidity to the upside, and we could see possibly a pop up to anywhere between, say, 41,000 and 42,000. That could happen just to kind of mess with people. I mean, the liquidity is there between 41 and 42. So, like, right where I'm going to draw this square, basically, there is liquidity in this area right now, and a fair amount of it. And it makes sense. That's where people went short. That's where their stops and their liquidations are. So price before it goes down, and this is a Bitcoin, like typical Bitcoin thing. It might pop up, grab this liquidity, and then head down. That can happen. Now, it might not happen like right from where it is right now. You know, it might bounce around for a while first and then do that. So, you know, it could play around like this and then bam, bam. So if somebody was like, you know, like I like to say, gun to your head, what do you think is going to happen? I'd say this. I'd say at least bounce around for a short time. It could be a few days, could be a few weeks, and then pop up, grab this liquidity, and come down. That's what I think will happen with Bitcoin. But it could happen like today. Like this could go up and grab that today and then go straight down. So, but that's Bitcoin. Ethereum is, I think, going to follow suit to a degree, because it's just we're not at a time in the market where Ethereum has decoupled, right? So I'm pretty sure if we look at Bitcoin dominance, the dominance is going up or stable. So I do think Ethereum may have to drop back into its prior kind of area here below 2000. A low point, kind of like a point where a must bounce, if you will, for Ethereum. There's a couple of must bounces. The bottom of this sort of ascending trend line where price kept bouncing back through all of the Q4 of 2023, like that's an important spot, but I don't normally look at these diagonal lines as must bounces. That's just not how I roll. But I would say a must bounce would be right at, say, 1500. And I don't think, I mean, anything can happen. I don't think Ethereum's going to go below 15. That would really surprise me. I know March, our Ethereum guy, is saying he is going to sell his organs to buy at 1700. So, but I'll tell you what, March, when it hits 1700, talk to me, buddy, before you get too crazy. But yeah, that's where it's at. I do think price will drop down. That's algo wise, it's looking like it. Yeah, that I'm gonna tell you right now, a decent short on Ethereum. It's kind of tricky to short right now because it's at the bottom of a range. I don't like to do that. However, I look at the range. This is pretty decent map out of the range right here. Pretty decent map out. You got some wicks poking out of the top, so there's a little discernment on these. But I would be, you know, obviously price is right at the bottom here, so I don't like to short. I don't like to, you know, dive into shallow pools. But we could localize this a little bit and find that, you know, it's a little bit tight of a range and price could dump down, just like, you know, kind of play around here for a minute, create a little mini range, and then, you know, come down. And if it were to come down, I'd probably grab liquidity in this area, you know, just below 2000. And then there's more liquidity a little bit lower, and, you know, but I think it will end up playing around in this sort of, you know, 1800 to 2000 range. That's where I think Ethereum is going to go. But we'll hear more about it. I could guess that if more of this ETF talk happens, then we might see a little momentum gain in Ethereum. But the last thing we'll look at here is Bitcoin dominance. And I have a special kind of Bitcoin dominance. The formula is BTC.D divided by 100 minus BTC.D. And that is, I don't even know who made that up, but it does. No, let's do this here. There we go. What it does do is let's see what just happened here. Minus BTC.D. How do I say this? It proportionalizes Bitcoin dominance, right? So Bitcoin dominance has been distorted by the changes in the market over time. So that formula that I wrote kind of accounts for those distortions. Now, Bitcoin dominance is rising, and it has been ranging since Q3. And it dropped out. So apparently the market seems to think that Bitcoin is done with large moves for the moment because the dominance range and then kind of dropped out here, but it's heading back up into this area. So I'm kind of thinking that the market is a little uncertain about Bitcoin right now, but leaning towards thinking that it is going to make another move, right? If Bitcoin dominance drops What that means is that money is flowing out of Bitcoin into the altcoins, right? Right now, Bitcoin dominance is just on a massive uptrend. You see it here. So since November, really, Bitcoin dominance, all the money in cryptocurrency has been flowing out of altcoins and into Bitcoin. And it stabilized at the end of the summer and headed up right here. So with dominance going up, let me see what the trend is on the high time frame. Short-term trend is up. That's pretty clear by the chart. Yeah, I mean, it's short-term trend is up, but the higher time frame trend is actually down. So it might be that once Bitcoin finds its footing and we have an idea of where it's going to be, as long as it stays stable, then money will start to flow out to the altcoins and this chart will go down. But if Bitcoin starts to rise in a strong way, then this chart will go up and the altcoins, yes, their price will rise, but I don't think you'll get that alt part that everybody's looking for. So that's a way to look at dominance, and I hope that is helpful. If anybody has any questions, come over to www.algofactory.tech. The QR code is in the right-hand top right-hand side of the screen, and we're available. You can click on that, send us a message, whatever it is. You can ask questions right in these YouTube comments. You can, even if you're watching this after the fact, first of all, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're watching this on X, please like and follow, and then go ahead and, you can put a comment in the YouTube. Just ask me a question and I'll answer. We got Cool Cat with a comment on the, in the chat here. He says, might be able to add USDT.D to watch list. Oh, for dollar dominance. Let's see what that looks like real quick. USDT.D. I'm going to do 100 minus USDT.D just to round that out. So this is like Tether dominance. So what this is money flowing in and out of Tether, right? And Tether dominance was on the rise all through 2022 and has been, it ranged from, say, June of 22 through October 23. Interesting. I'm going to take a stronger look at this and I'll get back to everybody once I have a better understanding. But for now, that's the QR code. This is the Gorilla. And Gorilla, can you please give us that send off? We'll go over to the private lab.
Absolutely. Guys, listen. Join us. Make a difference in your bottom line. It's 2024, guys. Don't be sitting on the sidelines wondering if this is for you, if this is not for you. This is one of the last things you could do. Listen, either you do this or you can go do DoorDash, okay? Or you can do DoorDash and do this, learn how to trade and be free, because once you learn these skills where we teach you not only how to trade, but to develop the algorithms that trade on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, my friend, then you can work from anywhere in the world. You are a free man. You write your own ticket. That's what we're selling here. Don't have any pills, don't have any potions, don't have any lotions. Just an amazing educational system that allows you to learn how to build a solid income from which you can fire your boss. AlgoFactory.tech. Trade your job, upgrade your life. Cowboy, let's get into it.
All right.